Cool. All right. This is probably going to be a longer video. 'Cause there's a lot of new stuff, which is why it's been so long since the last video. A lot of new stuff. As you can probably see on screen, we got 2 new devices, and a kind of device. I'm going to try and keep it as brief as possible. I can't talk about everything, because this video would be probably like an hour long or something like that. But I'm going to get through as much as I can. And I guess we'll start with a new project and just start going through it. So the first thing is there's this meter at the bottom here now, that I talked with some people in the comments of previous videos about what the best way to implement this is, and it's basically just like a master gain knob. So if you ever just need to turn down the volume of your project, you can just do it right there. Super easy. And yeah, and this is stored with your project file, so when you restore your project, the like master volume is saved as well. This is not like a user specific thing. In the future I may have like an override for that, but for now, yeah. And small change with squeeze. There's this line on it now because the person who made it, Groove Mechanic, had like a little, like a way to get this like I guess it's called like the action value out of it, which kind of like shows what the compressor's doing. And the main version of Squeeze, like the Max for Live device, has that. And so he re-exported like a new version with that value public. And so now it is part of the visual here, which is super cool. So if we put like a drum set here, do a kick. Squeeze. You can see the line moving in response to the kick. All right, let's get into the new stuff, which is a new instrument called stut. And kind of looks like drum set, but basically what's happening here is you load a vocal or tonal sample, or really it could be any sample, but I've just loaded it up with some acapellas and some tonal stuff because it sounds good. And basically you can cause like a stutter effect on it, kind of, or it's like each of these squares is a percent, and that's like the percent of the way through the song it's going to jump to. So it's going to jump to 97% here, and it's going to jump to 63% of the way through here. So it's like just jumping around the sample a lot, and it causes this very cool sound. So we can randomize it. Kind of sounds like Giant Claw, if you're familiar with his music. DDS maybe. Yeah. And we've got an intelligent mode that kind of stutters it a bit more, so it like repeats steps. Right. And the cool thing about this device is it's scale intelligent, so we know what the key of the sample is, which means that we can also play it back at a speed that is in key with the project that we're working with. So we're in C minor here, so it's playing this one at 0.75x speed to be in key. So if I change this, very cool. So you don't have to worry about like getting it in key, but if you want to be able to adjust it freely, you can. The phase is basically like how fast it's going to run through it, so this will be faster. Good with like slice. It's also cool to just have like a sampled sort of tonal sample thing, so that, because you could like run this through in the demo track I was playing there, you could run it through like a reverb and it creates kind of like a pad, which is cool. And you can put it for delays. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. It's pretty fun. The length, this is a neat feature. So basically, right now it's 16 steps long, but we can force it to be shorter. So we can make it 5 steps, and it'll just repeat those 5 steps. And you see to keep in sync, it does a repeat there, so that it's like in. Otherwise, it would go out of time a little bit. Pretty cool. And then the envelope is basically like the pluckiness of it, I guess. So right now it's like pretty much fully open unless you're at like a super low VPN. But if I bring it down, now it's like very plucky, and like now it almost sounds like an instrument, like we're like playing chords or something like that. Let's pick a tonal one and see how that sounds. Right, so this almost sounds like an ARP, chord ARP thing going on. Oh, we're in free. So not a lot of samples right now, but I'm gonna add a bunch more soon. I've been playing with this a ton. I think it's very cool. I plan to add a lot of samples to this, a lot of samples. So yeah, that's the new instrument. I'm kind of, I'd linger on this one a bit longer, but I'm trying to go through stuff a little bit quicker here. This is very cool. Macro. You may have seen this in the demo thing, but this is kind of like if you've ever used Ableton's like what is it called? Like you can group things together and apply macros to them. That's kind of what this is. So this you can apply this to pretty much anything. So let's do slice, for example. Slice and bass sec are both now modulation ready. Finally. Oh, and I've got to talk about this too. There's too many things. Okay. Yeah, so you can apply this to any multiple even like things. Maybe I should put this on something else as well. Let's do bokeh, because why not? Let's just bring this down. All right, so when I turn this knob up, I want the reverse to, I'll come back to this in a second. I want the reverse to go up, and I want the frequency, I guess. So you can see they both jump to 0 because this is at 0, but as I bring this up, and we can look at it in the scope here, but that's not the scope. It's LFO. So let's plug this into the scope. As you can see, it's tracking our movement here. And so you can use this for live performance stuff. Like if you want to like connect it to a bunch of things, so you're not like twisting each knob individually. You can make like a bunch of stuff happen at once. And you can have this macro. You may have seen this in the demo project as well. You can have it control another macro that's like tuned in some different way, you know? Right? So now it's affecting this one. And this has more settings too. So let's head over to, oh, and you can set a name for it. So I can change this to like reverse. And you'll see when I switch values here, this D lights up because you can set a default value basically. So if I hit D, now this is the default value. So if I go back here and then double click on it to reset the value, it goes back to the one I selected it. All right, so with the other settings here, we've got a couple of different modes for it. So, or if you've used LFO before, you kind of already know what this stuff does. But depth kind of like brings it to squishes it towards the center. Smoothing is really nice because you may have noticed that when we're dragging this around, it kind of looks like pixelated. That's because our mouse updates are not as fast as the audio updates, because audio updates, depending on your sample rate, in this case, 48 kilohertz, so that's 48,000 times per second. And our mouse obviously doesn't move that fast, so there's like this pixeling. But if we turn up the smoothing, we can actually, now it's like a smooth transition. That's in case you hear any artifacts on something that would be affected by that quantization, but most things I think are pretty clean. But just in case, it's always there. And then the exponent, this is pretty cool, or the curve, you can adjust the bias. This is a oversimplification, but like you can adjust the bias towards like a specific range of numbers. So if I bring this down, I believe our bias is more towards higher numbers. So you can see on the graph we're already halfway through, but we're only at 25% on like, or 20% here. And if we get to halfway, see now we have finer grain control of like these values here. So we kind of like jump very quickly to like bringing in the sound in this example. And you can also do it the other way, where now larger values, so you can see we're at 50%, but we're still super low. So there's finer control of like this lower range right here. And at 1, it's linear. And okay, so then there's also toggle mode. This is just a simple on-off. And it'll stay in that state. And then there's button, which I need to make larger. I don't know why it's so small. And this one you can like hold, and when you release, it automatically turns off. Very cool. This is a good one for smoothing, right? Because a jump to 1 might not always sound great. Okay, so that's that. And this is the new modulation parameter picker target thing. And basically what it does is when you click on it, your cursor becomes a crosshair, and you can select anything that is modulatable to be connected to this, so that you don't have to like go through the list. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, slice 2, and then I want this one. It's like you can just click it. So you can just click on the frequency, and it's immediately applied. And if you do it again, it'll disconnect from it. So yeah, that's macro. I'm super like excited about the possibilities with this, because now you can like set up all this stuff in your project, and it's like it's just like right, like you can control a bunch of things at once, and it's like you can have like 8 different sets going on at once if you wanted to, or if you had the CPU for that. There's something I'm going to introduce either in the next update or the update after that should really tie this whole live performance idea together, and should allow for like full tracks, but I'll speak on that more as the time comes. Okay, so that is the new instrument, the new modulator, I guess is what this is. Talked about the master gain, talked about the modulation. Bass sec and slice are now modulation ready. Here's the other thing, because of that, I've upped the version number on save files. So old save files will not work on this version, but I'm going to include a link in the description of this video, and also probably somewhere in the project, to an old version of the site that I'm going to keep active for as long as possible, that loads those old projects so that they aren't like broken forever. They won't load in this version just because like the syntax has changed and bass sec has changed a little bit to accommodate modulation. But those old projects will still work on that old link that I'm going to keep up. So if you have an old project or something like that and you want to record it, there will be a link where that old project will work. If you try and load an old project on here, it'll say like your version's out of date, and it'll just like not let you do it. So there have been some changes with bass sec. First thing, there's a gain knob, finally, and pitch is no longer like semitone. It's octave, just because that's like the most common use case for it. So I dropped the semitones and just made it octaves. This is very cool. The phase is no longer multiples of 2, or including 1. It can be anything. So you can set it to 11, and it'll like be in like its own time, almost like it won't be in 4/4 or something. I don't know. I'm not very good with music theory like timing stuff, but I know that this is what is it doing here? It's like it's playing it in a 11th division, like it's separating the beat into like 11 divisions, I think, because this is 1 division for the beat, and this is 16 for the beat, and so I guess this is, yeah, something like that. But it's very cool, especially if you like a polyrhythmic, I believe that's the word for it, polyrhythmic stuff. It's fun to play with. And also, if you set the phase to something like 8, so it's in time, but you set this out of phase with that, you'll like always get like a, not always, but you'll get like different notes. Here we can kind of hear it. See how these 2 notes weren't like lined up with, they're like different every time round, which is pretty cool. So those are the changes to bass sec. I don't think anything had to change with slice. No, I don't think so. Okay, that's that, and bunch of like behind the scenes stuff, just like changing how the save files work, changing how a bunch of like some network calls work and that kind of stuff. Anything in here? No. Okay, good. Got through it pretty quick. What are we at? 20 minutes? All right, that's pretty good. I'm sure there's stuff I'm forgetting. I mean, the list is pretty. Or actually, let's take a look at the to-do here. Save files migration. Okay, still got to do these 2 things. System general outline. I'll get to there's one more pretty big thing. Migration systems general outline. Yes. Oh, yeah, so that's another thing, is in future versions there won't be the problem of like your save file's not going to work. Like I'm implementing a migration system, so like the next time I upgrade the save files and stuff needs to be, or if there's like a change to any of the devices or something like that, save files are going to work hopefully from here on out. I'm barring some like mishap that I'm not aware of yet that might occur. But my current plan is migration support into the future, so that every time the site updates, you don't have to lose all your projects. That was the last version that should do that, hopefully. It was just a pretty big change, and also I needed to shift some stuff over to modulation, so it was like the values didn't match up anymore and all that kind of, and that's not an easy fix for migration. But now that everything uses a normalized system, it should be pretty good. Convert all devices to modulation, finally. Welcome screen. Yeah. Okay, so this is just sample picker needs some more work. Stut detect keys implemented. That bug's fixed. Oh, added the hints. And yeah, drop down menu rework for sample picker. Yes, that's done. Master meter. Duplicate with same settings. I think I showed that last video. And then sample picker folders. Okay, so here is the larger window. There's no like dashboard, so I didn't know where to put this, so I just made it a device you can like put in your project. So this is the feedback window, and basically I'm gonna push this update out and it's pretty buggy. Or hopefully it's like semi-stable, but I think I presume there are bugs that I'm not aware of. And my previous method of like finding out about bugs was YouTube comments, which isn't super accessible. So there's now a feedback widget where you can submit bugs and features, not just bugs, features too. And you can vote on things that you like. Like if you want one of these, you can like vote on them, and then the things at the top I'm going to try and prioritize. So if there's like a bug that's like affecting you, you can give it a vote. And you can submit your own bugs here, bug or feature, you can choose. Yeah, so this should be helpful just to track bugs down. This next round of update, or the next update, or what I'm going to be working on for like the next week and stuff, is going to be just bug fixes mostly, and like getting things organized on the back end, because I added like 8 features or something like that, and it's getting a little bit spaghetti code in the back. So I want to like catch bugs and clean stuff up and make some systems a little bit more sensible. And this is the way of helping with that. So let's submit a bug report. Let's submit a feature request. Let's do, what do I want? I want I don't know. I guess I want some sort of like I want like weird FX samples, or weird like one shot FX samples, I guess. And then describe the issue. I should probably have that changed so that it's like describe the feature if you're on the feature tab. Actually, that's the bug. Let's just do that. When placeholder text in feature submit field, say describe, oh shoot, describe the long title, and I'm just I'm just gonna say title. This is a UI thing. All right, and I'm just gonna hit submit. Okay, so once you submit something, you don't need an account or anything like that. You can just submit whatever. Once you submit it, it won't be visible immediately. I'm gonna like go through and make sure people aren't like posting spam or like posting an issue that's like not actually related or stuff. But if you submit something, I'm definitely gonna like read it. And yeah. So you see it won't show up yet until I approve it. But once it gets approved, it shows up here, and then I'll give it like a status. So either it's like open or it's like in progress, if I'm working on it. I wonder if this long title is gonna like glitch out here. Hold on. All right, so I just made it appear. Text fits, so that's good. If you notice this and you're like, oh, like I'm experiencing this bug too, or like I want to see that implemented or whatever, you like give it a vote. You'll see the vote counter goes up. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and prioritize the top vote things. Of course, if there's something like critical or like I'm in the middle of something, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, this is like good feedback to like see like what do people want, what bugs are people facing, what features do people want, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it lives in your project, and it actually recalls with your project. So if you like if you save this project and load it, it will load this window back up. There's no state saved in it. This is like it's not like it won't open to this or something like that, because that's just like to you, because I didn't build this as a device. It's built as like a utility window, and there's no hints because it's not a device. Although that would be funny, like to add hints to this. I'll think about it. But Yeah, so this will be good for feedback. Okay, I think I got through everything. Normally I do a little jam. You know what? Yeah, let's do a little jam with the new stuff. So let's do stut. So I'm going to run it through a reverb to turn it into like a pad, or I'm going to run it into a delay and then a reverb. Because this will like kind of make it spacey, I guess. I'm going to filter it a bit to get rid of the highs. And let's change our key to like F sharp minor. Yeah, let's go for some breaks. I could just use this. Keep forgetting about the master meter, it's so useful. Bring it down a bit. Get like a little melody going. yeah, these stut is really fun. I'm having a good time with it. I definitely need to add more samples to it, but I mean, even with the samples available, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, all right. I should probably upload that as like a second jam or something like that, or like chop it out and do like a or something. I'll figure it out. All right, that's it for now. Yeah, so if you try it out and you experience a bug, please report it in feedback. My main focus is on bugs. I want to fix bugs. So if you find a bug, do it. Oh, and the video of the day. Should I save this? It's okay. I have it on video, so if I ever need to remake it. Someone in the comments said otters holding hands. I didn't realize this, but apparently I think this is like a thing they do or something like that. Because when I looked it up, there were like a bunch of different videos. There was like a ton. I just picked like the first one. I just realized the channel's also called Otters Holding Hands. I guess this is like a thing they do. Check this out. Yeah, someone recommended this in the comments. I had never I'd never seen this before. Or like, why do they? Maybe it's like a flotation thing or something.
Absolutely adorable.
Did you take a picture of that?
So if you look up like otters holding hands, there's like a ton of these. There were like 20 when I looked it up, and I was like, I thought there was like one instance of it, and I was gonna be like, oh, it's like a viral video or something. But apparently they do this a lot or something. Cool. Yeah. Thank you to whoever recommended that. I really like that video, and I checked out some of the other ones too, but I don't want to make this video too long. All right. Yeah.